Okay, hello again, it's Simon Little, and today we're going to do a video series where we're going to talk a little bit about your website. Now, it's the 21st century. A website really is an essential part of your marketing strategy. It's an essential part of your business. If you don't have a website, you really need to get hold of one as soon as possible. It can be very, very simple. You can do it all yourself, or you can get somebody in to help you out with some or all of it. But either way, you really need to get it up as soon as possible. If you've already got a website, great. We're going to talk a little bit about general website practice and what you can do to make sure that your website is actually converting visitors into business for you. Now, a website is such an important tool for a business nowadays because it really allows you to maximize and leverage your time and resource. You can write articles and pieces for your website, you can create automated systems to do follow-ups, all sorts of things like that mean that you do the work once and you reap the rewards many times over. And also you reach the largest number of people through having a website. Web access is all over the place now, from people's desktops, but also from laptops when they go out for a coffee, or from mobile phones now, literally anywhere that people are. So if you want to reach the greatest number of people, and if you want to maximise your efforts and your time and resource to get you the best results, then a website is essential, and we're going to talk through it a bit. Excuse me. Now, when you're looking at a website, you can really look at it from two different angles. Essentially, there is the design angle of looking at it and the marketing angle, and I want to talk through the differences a little bit, because obviously I'm a marketer, and I'd very strongly advise that you look at your website from a marketing perspective. Design is important. I don't want to tell you that you should have a really ugly site. Ironically, historically, you could have got away with a really ugly site because the content of your site was much more important, and the content of your site is still very, very, very important. The design has become ever so slightly more important now than it would have been if you'd have asked me about this a year ago, because Google's recently introduced a preview function, meaning that when you search, you can get a preview, a small box on Google that will show you what the front page of that website looks like. With that being the case now, I've begun to start advising people that design is more important than I was saying it was last year. But in my mind, it's no way near as important as thinking about your website first from a marketing perspective. Now, the reason for that is that you might drive a lot of traffic to your website, and you might get a lot of visitors. But if you're not converting those visitors into business, then your website's essentially a waste of time. And I'm going to be blunt here. It's very self-satisfying to have a pretty website and to say, oh, that looks nice. But if it's not working for you, then what's the point? Your website needs to very, very quickly answer the major questions that the visitor has in their mind. It needs to prove that you're an authority. It needs to make it very obvious to the visitor what they have to do if they want to buy from you right now. And it really needs to have some sort of ethical bribe. You need to offer something so that a visitor leaves their details and you can contact them again in the future. And that is really critical. I couldn't even begin to overemphasize how important that is, and that's for a couple of reasons. The first thing is the attention span of people online. There's so much going on when you get onto a computer. You'll be distracted by emails, you'll be distracted by Facebook, you'll be distracted by, searching for whatever you went on for. Maybe someone sent you some photos. There are loads of things going on that will distract you when you're online. So when someone visits your site, they can very quickly click away from it. So what you want to do is very quickly offer them something that means that they leave their details and you can contact them again. The other reason you want to be able to contact them again is because it's proven that it actually takes between 6 or 7 contacts before a new customer is going to be prepared to buy from you. But the majority of business owners focus their efforts mainly on the first point of contact and on trying to gain a sale there, which means the majority of business owners are actually missing out on most of the sales because they're not following up. Now, an autoresponder email system which sends out emails, responses to anybody who comes onto your site and leaves their email address is what you want to have in place, so that you can write those messages once and have them working on building relationships with new visitors for the rest of the lifetime of your site. And that's one of the things we're going to talk through later. In fact, I'll outline what we're going to cover through this course. Okay, so we're going to cover the major elements in terms of what your website should have in design, and that's not about making it pretty, although it has to look pleasant, if that's the right way of putting it. It's more about making it navigable. It's more about making it obvious to people where they can get the answers to their questions, where they can buy from you if they want to, and why you are an authority. We're going to talk about how to set up your ethical bribe so you've got something to offer people so that they leave their contact details with you. We're going to talk about setting up your autoresponder messaging system so that you can continue to contact those new visitors automatically every time they leave their details on your site. And we're going to talk about how your website strategy can fit in with all of the other elements of your web strategy. So how it might fit in with writing articles, how it might fit in with your places, how it might fit in with social media. I mean, in fact, the first thing I mentioned there, articles, that's another huge important part of your web strategy, and we'll talk a little bit about how you can use elements like blogging and blog delivery on your website so that your website's got constantly updated information and is not static, which again will help it rank well. We're also going to talk about ranking, how to get your page optimized, how to create good copy, so that all of those other elements we've talked about are tied together properly. Now, that's going to be over the course of the next few videos, and obviously there's quite a lot of learning there. There's also a lot more technical knowledge that you need to have to develop a website that you wouldn't necessarily have had to have if you've already been through developing places or pages with us or with anybody else. There is a lot more technical work involved. Now, we've been designing websites for years, and we've got a lot of success for customers with their websites, both in terms of them generating leads and in terms of them getting rankings. If you'd like to talk to us more about helping you get that shortcut, get that step up to the first pages of Google without all of the pain that you might have of going through doing it yourself, then please get in touch. I'd love to help you out. You can reach us on 01733 514 007. That's 01733 514 007, or by email info@drivinginstructormarketing.co.uk. So that's info@drivinginstructormarketing.co.uk. Struggling to get that out. We'd love to help you, and we'd love to see you get great results on the internet, because I really believe that it's the best way for you to maximise your marketing efforts online. I hope to hear from you soon. If not, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for now.